Yeah, we're going to go around that building. You can stop there for a minute, actually. My name is Russell Homan, and I'm the maintenance director here for the repair of the vehicles. We're parked right next to our orange swimming pool here. When it's really hot like this, we open up the top and we jump in. Actually, that's a firefighting water tank, because the city of Monrovia cannot supply enough water from the street to fight a fire. They really didn't know what, the fire regulations didn't really know what we were going to be using this building for, and with so much square footage, it could have been used as a furniture factory or something that's a lot more flammable than what we have. So they made us put in this gigantic water tank just for fighting a fire, because basically the pipes in the street are not big enough to fight a really big fire. So as we go along this roadway here, you're going to see the water from the street, and the orange fire hydrants are water from the water tank. So in that little gray shed next to your left is a solar panel generating, electricity generating shed. Those are actually a new type of solar panels where instead of being mounted on the traditional sheet of aluminum, these are actually mounted on clear plastic, so you can actually see through these panels. I mean, the panels let some of the light through them, so it's not dark underneath. If you look on the ground, you'll be able to see the shadows of the actual solar cells and the space in between the solar cells where light is coming through. We have on your right up in front of us is a emergency generator on a trailer, because our Kohler power generator there failed, so we got temporary emergency generator power there. Okay, let's go ahead and move on up. So on your left up here is the substation with all the doors on the side of it, and the air conditioning like it was an old school bungalow or something. On your right is the car wash, so you can look back into the car wash. Go down there where it says fire lane by the front door. So inside the car wash, why don't you stop a little bit further, so you can go a little further. So you can see inside the car wash, it's a typical car wash with blowers at the very end to dry the train. We use recycled water at the entrance arch and the soap, and at the very end is a freshwater wash. Okay, you can go. Yes, the water's recycled, except for a fresh rinse at the end. We wash the trains about 3 days a week. Before the water crisis, we used to wash the trains every day, but now we wash them about 3 times a week.
Is the train powered as it goes through?
What?
Is it powered from the overhead as it goes through?
Yeah, the question was, is the train powered when it goes through? Yes, it drives through on its own power. So the train operator has to, the train has a special car wash mode, which is part of the automatic train protection system, which limits the speed of the vehicle to about 3 miles an hour. I mean, the problem usually is that they tend to drive too fast through the car wash and break the car wash. So this kind of limits the speed that they can go through the car wash, so the brushes will come out and clean the sides of the train. The car wash does not clean the front of the train, though, or the back of the train. That you put it in airplane mode. That way you can't talk on it. You can't use it as a internet device, texting, or any of the other things that cause railroad accidents. So if you don't know how to do that, hopefully somebody can help you put it in airplane mode, which basically means you won't be able to talk or text. The only thing you'll be able to do with it is take pictures, right? Okay, so we're gonna stay together as a group. We didn't turn off. There's not a lot of people here today on Saturday late afternoon, so you probably aren't going to get a lot of people working. But there are dangers inside the shop. We don't want you to fall in the pit. We don't want you to climb on the catenary catwalks and touch the high voltage electricity or anything like that. So please stay together and follow me. So let's go ahead inside the shop building. You may have noticed that everything in this building, the theme of this building is orange. It's actually California coffee orange. And we have this gigantic mural up here about California coffees. And there's a plaque on the wall over there that tells about the author or the designer of the building. And basically, she chose a California coffee theme. So that's why our exciting chairs over there against the windows, and even the chairs in my office. I got the same chairs in my office. Real high comfortable chairs from like 1955 or something. But they're California coffee colors, and they carry that color theme out to those balls that are over the track in the yard. If you look out this window over here, you can see some yellow, some orange, big giant orange basketballs that are on the catenary wire out there. Anybody know what their purpose is?
Just to warn people is...
You're exactly right. The purpose of those balls is art. They are not to warn airplanes from landing in the yard. They're strictly there for art. I love it.
Ever since you've been to I wonder what those orange how big art did when you build a new building in LA, you have to spend 1% on art.
Don't know. I don't think so, because it's not public. It's not really in the public. By the way, this is a LEED certified building, which means it's environmentally friendly. Which you're going to see that the lights kind of come on. They turn off by themselves, and as you walk into the room, the lights automatically come on.
There you go.
This is an fire alarm.
Well, you know my ducks have flat feet, right?
I'll tell you about we have a
Thank you.
secret new TSA, high security system here that they're developing for railroads that will scan the underbottoms of trains looking for anything out of the ordinary, like a bomb, okay?
Are we going to go through metal detector?
How does it know what a bomb
No,
looks like?
but
Probably look for
basically,
chemicals or something.
over on one of the yard tracks, there's what we would call a stereo camera. It actually takes two cameras shining up at like a 45-degree angle underneath the bottom of the train, and it takes a picture of the bottom of the train, and it compares the same car number to what it looked like the day before. Okay, we're going to go into the body shop next.
Take a photo of it.
Okay.
They paid extra to have somebody put this in there for just a plain M.
That's what's long gone. On both sides.
Man, doesn't Al wish he had this kind of room and these kind of toys? And it's so clean too.
Sport cuts.
It's so
Look at this, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the guy's personal toolboxes. Okay. You know, the company didn't buy that. They're required to buy their own tools. So if you want to be a paint body person for Metro, you're going to have to spend some money to buy some tools. Wow. And a toolbox.
okay, toolbox is $5,000.
How do you take that home? I don't see the trailer in it.
You probably get a crane and just put it on the back of your own
Okay,
trailer.
this is the body shop. Okay, and what we do in here is mainly graffiti repair. Okay, these cars are stainless steel on the sides, so there's not much you have to do to stainless steel. But we have on the top of the train we have fiberglass skirts, and on the bottom of the train we have fiberglass skirts. And the nose of the train here is made out of fiberglass. Okay, so here's a panel being repaired right here. They bondo it and then they sand it out. That one's made out of aluminum. Some of them, the newer ones are made out of aluminum, but the original ones all came with fiberglass. Yep, like this one.
Who manufactures the train?
We have two different types of trains here. These are our older trains, which are made by Ansaldo Breda, which is an Italian company. Used to be just called Breda, but then they merged with Ansaldo, so then they became Ansaldo Breda, and they were recently sold to Hitachi. Ansaldo Breda also owned Union Switch and Signal, the company that makes a lot of the switches and signaling systems for many of the mainline railroads. There's basically two big companies that make signaling systems. There's General Railway and Signal GRS, and Union Switch and Signal. Ansaldo Breda was basically worth nothing. It was going out of business, and they packaged the sale with Union Switch and Signal. That was the real prize. It will suck up the dust and not create a huge mess as you're working.
It also has a color-coordinated orange ball stop.
Of course. Okay, next we're going to move into the paint shop, which is in this dark room over here. Okay, so this is the mystery room, and of course, as you walk into it, the lights are going to come on. This is like a clean room for they will suck all the dust will be sucked out of this room so that it's perfectly clean inside here. You don't want to have dust particles landing on your fresh painted surface. And it will dry quickly.
Are these punch bags to protect the fires from insurance?
Yes, you understand what those purposes
Yeah, they
are?
burn off when you want to have a fire and then the sprinklers work.
That's exactly right, because, I mean, you don't want paint. Paint will easily get on the car. You know, when you're painting your house, one of the problems when you're painting the house, you put the ladder up on the side of your house, you know, and you take with you the paint and the paint brushes or the sanding equipment, and you climb up the side into the ladder, and you start painting or sanding, and you reach as far as you can reach, and eventually you get tired, and then when you're ready to go to the next spot, you climb down the ladder. You take all your paint with you, and you move the ladder, and then you climb back up the ladder in the new area that you want to work on. And eventually, you get too tired. You get tired of moving the ladder, and eventually you stretch a little bit too far off to the side, and the ladder falls over. So, to prevent that from happening, they make an easier way to do this. And I'm going to operate these controls here, so I'm not trying to get fresh with you. But we do have a pedal on the floor.
I don't think your smile's big enough now. That'll do.
Air rise and after the end, please exit the train.
Salmon assistant doubles both from
I
Laura.
should have had this when we were painting the railroad.
I want one. Oh, man.
What kind of paint do you use? I assume it's oil-based and a certain brand or what?
We have been using Deft Zero VOC paint. This is Los Angeles, so
Oil-based.
we can't use heavy VOC containing chemicals. We do have a permit to paint here, so we have switched from a zero VOC to a low VOC paint because the Deft paint. Long Beach has its own paint room, okay? We have a very experienced paint crew down there, and there's no way to get a car from the goal line to any of the other lines, except for Division 21, which is the original gold line shop down by Chinatown, along the LA River there. There's actually two shops for the gold line. That used to be the primary shop until this one opened up. And now that is a satellite shop. It used to have 50 cars down there, but now there's only 14 cars there. And it's only open Monday through Friday. So the primary work and bulk of the cars come here. Now once the regional connector opens up, which is going to connect the gold line to the blue line, and the Santa Monica line, the Expo line to East LA, there will be a big north-south train from Long Beach to Azusa and from Santa Monica to East LA. So once that opens up, the Division 21 shop will become very important again because it's really the only shop in the downtown area. Right now, when we want to put more trains into service most of our customers are going to downtown LA. So if we want to put a train, if we need to add additional service, like at rush hour in the afternoon, well, it takes an hour for the train to get from here to downtown LA. that's a lot of deadhead time, essentially. So the Chinatown shop is much closer to downtown, and you can get a train into Union Station in 5 minutes.
And you said 15 cars at that.
Yeah, there's 14 right now, but it's going to be going up. Once the regional connector goes up, it'll go back to operating 7 days a week with like 50 cars there, which is the maximum that it can hold. This yard, by the way, can hold about 100 cars.
Is one unit one car? You have one unit on the front, one unit on the back. Aren't they normally 2 units? Is that what you're...
No, we have one car which has, these are articulated vehicles which bend in the middle, and it's one car. It has an A end and a B end, but it is one car. Okay, so let's go back out the door into the body shop in the other room. Then I'm going to turn the lights off in here.
If your train models are airplane models,
Probably too much air pressure.
do you bring in the radiator?
Yeah, but you never have to turn the air on.
Yeah, I love these scoop boxes.
Look at the metro helmet. What very great is
Lucerne Valley stuff.
We have lots of little workrooms like this, battery storage. We don't have to go in, but we're going to go this way. Okay, we're going to go into the supervisor's office and enjoy some air conditioning for a few minutes. About where the trains are located. We actually have 2 boards here. The one on the left is for Division 21 by Chinatown, and the one on the right is Division 24, which is where we are right now. On the left-hand side of both boards is the main line. So this section right here on both boards are all the cars that are on the main line. So right now there are 13 trains that are on the main line. Most of them are all 3-car trains. We are running all 3-car trains today because we are single tracking because of emergency repairs that are being done to the OCS and some track maintenance. The overhead catenary system.
In Highland Park, where they're
On the goal line. We have the older cars by Ansaldo Breda, which we call the P2550s, and we have the newer cars by Ansaldo Breda, by Kinky Shario, which have the yellow front on them. And I'm not sure we have any of those in the shop today. If you look at the map up here, this is the building we're in, where it says 718, 703, 701, and K 1013 and 708. The newer trains have the 1000 numbers with a K in front of them. We had to put a K in front of them because we also have buses with the same number. So normally we wouldn't have a number in front of it, but that's why there's a K, because they bought buses with the same car number.
Now, the main center for this train control is down there where the green line and the blue line cross, right?
That's correct. That's
Now,
the
they
control
have
center.
every board for every rail in there like this?
That's correct. So this is just the yard, and these trains, by the way, on this map are moved around by hand. Okay, so the person in the yard control tower, he just takes a mouse on a computer and he clicks on it and he moves it from one space to another
So
space.
this thing isn't automated?
No, but eventually it will be automated. We're in the process of installing a wireless router on the trains that will equip all the trains with Wi-Fi and allow diagnostic information to be sent and download video and stuff.
When is that going to happen?
Well, it's being installed right now. And the software is being written to update this map automatically.
Stations too? Wi-Fi?
Probably eventually. There are no plans. The red line has Wi-Fi. Well, no, the red line has cell phone service now. Finally.
When did they get
That
that?
explains why I was on Metro Center Station, my phone rang, and I go, whoa.
Yeah, that happened in the last 2 years. That happened is they put cell phone service inside the red line time.
It's 16th day of the year.
15:34, 11 hours. It's
3:30. By the way, Andy, what time do you need to
Julian
leave?
date then?
260 days.
Oh, except it doesn't have the 8 on the.
You want to ride?
Yeah.
Every shot. Every night. What?
Is the high rail those cranes out there?
Well, this is at Division 21. Okay. One new P3010 car a week.
How did they get here?
They come on truck.
From where? The harbor?
No, they come from Palmdale. The P3010 cars, the P3010 cars are being manufactured in Palmdale where they used to manufacture the B-1 bomber on the Palmdale Airport property. They're making everything there.
And this is the company that's doing that?
Kinky Shario.
Oh, the Japanese guys.
Yes.
They're the ones that made the blue line originally, right?
No, the blue line cars are made by Nippon Shario. These are Kinky Shario. You guys know what the word Shario means, by the way?
Yes, it means carriage.
Yeah, a railroad. Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why Nippon Shario and Kinky Shario have the last name because it means railroad or carriage. Yes, that's right.
One more question. The car up there, K1012, is that like a blue flag on that car? Somebody working on it?
If you look at the top row up there, track number 13, where it says K102, and you got the blue helmet moving, the blue light moving back and forth. That's the Cylon that's taken over that car, and that's the light, that tells you that they're looking, scanning the car. No, you're right. That means the car's blue flagged. So the yard control identifies that as being blue flagged.
What's
And
blue flag again?
blue flag means that only maintenance people are allowed to work on. That maintenance people are working on the car, and transportation should not be moving cars.
You guys have a turntable. Is it an Armstrong turntable?
I believe these are all made by Joy.
Maybe it just moved by hand, it's probably power.
trucks. And you can get under them. Wow. Is that as high as they go? So you can stand under them.
Yeah, let's put it back in here and out of everything. It's fine.
There must be some safety protocol to put something on those rails so the thing doesn't roll off whatever's on it.
Set everything back to zero.
Okay, come on out this way. Watch your step. Don't trip on the tracks. And since you asked them now to come over here, I need about 3 people to stand on the turntable. It is an Armstrong. It is an Armstrong. That's how we get the truck from here to there to over here. Yeah. All down this way. Yeah, Armstrong's really big. We're starting an overhaul. So we're sending our trucks out to be overhauled. And this is how we basically get it back. We get nice new overhauled gearboxes, new journal bearings. And we're in the process of installing new tires. So yes, you can go kick the tires on the train if you want, because it really does have tires. They're steel tires separated by rubber blocks. Yes. I see a brake drum. What are the brakes that I see under the cars that drag on the tracks? They are magnetic track brakes. Are they emergencies? They're when the train needs a little extra stopping power. Okay, this is a tire. I gave away my keys. It's got a knife.
I don't got a knife, but you can do something just like this.
That's the tire.
That's a knife. That's not a knife. That's a knife. Do you have to burn them on with the flames to get the tires on the rims? Or?
No, these are pressed on with rubber blocks.
Press on tires, alright.
Press on tires.
Press on tires, like press on nails.
I see that as a tire. Is that what goes in between the tire and this rim here? So these it's a shock absorber. Oh man, you just screwed yourself. Man. And these are the rubber blocks that go here. Does that create some kind of shock absorber between the... Yeah, a little cushion. Between that rim there and this. Yeah. Cool.
No problem.
These rails and copper things with electrical content. It's crazy.
Cartways that raised the entire train. So all three of those are connected together. If you guys want to take a picture sitting in the cab, you're welcome to have a picture in the cab.
That was good.
I'll take it if you guys want to. Yeah.
Oh, my mom's not
Whatever's there to be no decide.
They were gonna go to the airport. Yeah, but they don't have any money to go to the airport. Same thing with the Green Line. They could run that right down to Santa Ana.
Montclair is very good out for
That's gorgeous. Yeah, are they working on it though? Well, it don't matter what
They're spending their sales tax money on widening the 405. So now you get the idea.
And they just
That's
finished
right,
widening and now they're widening. They will get flat. This usually happens when you crash into a car and the car lets go of its fluids. The radiator gets broken, oil is dumped on the tracks, and it's going to go to skid, slide, consistently. Yes.
Anti-lock braking system wheels and everything.
There it is. Oh, it's made in Germany. This is a single point cutting tool. One from each wheel here, and it will re-profile the wheel. So it uses the motion of the wheel to turn the snow. It spins and the quad motor that spins the wheels. So the shiny thing is the end of the red there.
That was given to us when we got the machine. It was to calibrate the machine.
Okay, that explains it. I said, what is that?
Dirty water goes into the pit down here, which flows into a clarifier. The clarifier is 3 pits. They're basically settling ponds where the dirty, heavy particles sink to the ground, and then a truck comes and pumps it out. But basically, this water flows to the ocean, but before it goes into the ocean, it goes into the clarifier to make sure all of the heavy particles are trapped before the water goes to the ocean. I know, it's a big pit up there.
Probably just
Do the steam cleaning get done as often as the regular washing gets done?
Oh no, we wash the cars every 3 days. There's steam. part here. So you can see this goes all the way up to the ceiling and it goes up the back side. So it allows us to store a lot of little parts in a little space area.
You don't want to stick your arm in there.
Well, it'll stop.
You will.
They used to do this with paper files.
Yeah, for the IBM cards and also for those old photo things like the newspapers, records, papers, they put them on these looking cards and stuff them in things like this.
So
A lot of stuff.
we got a bunch of not medium size. But instead of having fixed shelves, like this machine over here, every shelf is exactly the same size. On this one, the shelves are they measure the size of the component. And if you look in the back row over there, you can see how there's a skinny shelf and then there's a big wide shelf.
How special is
So he's
that?
going to measure the optical system here will measure how high the components are that are on this shelf and then find a spot in this vertical carousel that it can locate that size shelf in. So when it goes back in, it'll go in, it'll go up, and it'll go onto a shelf that's big enough to hold that.
So this is just the staging platform out front here.
Yes.
I got you. That's pretty cool.
It's always hard out there.
Because when you stuck your arm in, okay,
Maybe blocking it with my.
So safe you can't use it.
right,
Yeah. See, that's where.
okay, there we go.
I think my vest was blocking it.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you guys want to see it go back in?
Yeah. Cool. Ah, I wanted to video that. I didn't. Well, that is neat.
Up it goes,
Off it's on the
off onto a shelf. So next we're going to go into the bigger storage area. This is a forklift that kind of operates on an overhead monorail system. So
Yard control. Yard control tower. Is it elevator control?
yes. Although you may walk if you want. These are the locker rooms.
Which means that it's ADA
I'll be on in a
compliant.
minute, okay?
I'll do that on the way back. So the yard control guy can be ADA. Be a perfect job for someone in a chair.
Normally wear necktie every day. I'm only here for you guys
At
today.
Boeing, they told the supervisors next time.
Okay, let me explain what's going on out here in the yard. Today there are no real pullouts. Normally on a weekday we would have trains that are only used during rush hour, and some of those trains pull in here and rest during the middle of the day. Because we have a 6-minute headway during rush hour, and then during non-rush hour we drop back to a 12-minute headway. On the side of those cars, there's a platform where the janitor type people, which we call service attendants, they can clean the interior of the train. So every
There's a laminate protective coat if
we call it a graffiti shield. It's like window tinting. You can peel it off and put a new one back on. The black truck that you see out there is an emergency rescue vehicle. It's what we call a high rail vehicle. It has railroad wheels on it. The railroad wheels are behind the front tires and behind the dualies in the back. There's a railroad at nighttime, trains going back and forth without any passengers in them. That's because they're literally just driving them up and down the track to get 1,000 miles on them to make sure they work properly before we put them into revenue service.
You don't weigh them down or anything.
The Nippon chariot car, there are only 8 of those cars left. Really? The rest, all of them have been scrapped, except for the one at the Orange Empire Railroad Museum. There's one going to the city of Long Beach. I think the sheriff took one to blow up or something. Do a practice, assault practice or something. No, they're not. They're not dropping them in the ocean. They are scrapping them in Long Beach.
I heard they're all going to be gone by August, so that's what I read.
Probably, yes. Well, no, probably another month. There are the P2020 cars, which are exactly the same as the P865 cars. Those were the 15 cars that originally ran on the Green Line. Those cars are newer, so they will be around for another 10 years or so. There's also the Siemens cars, which there are 50 Siemens cars that run on the Green Line. You know that the Green Line has a different train control system than all the other lines. The Green Line was originally supposed to be driverless. So it has a much more sophisticated train control system that can start and stop the trains. Oh, it can open the doors, it can uncouple and couple, make up trains. I mean, it was supposed to be driverless. That was Mayor Bradley's idea, was to have a completely driverless train. Unfortunately, mayors change and priorities change, and the driverless feature went out the door, but all those features are still there. They're just a driver. He doesn't. They let the driver open and close the doors because they got to give him something to do. But overhaul also. Those are being overhauled by.
Don't they have a facility in Sacramento?
Yes, but they didn't get the contract to overhaul those ones.
Do they have sensors on these things too?
Over at the Monrovia stations, if you guys came on the train and want to catch the Gold Line back to LA instead of going all the way back to Fullerton, we're going to make a brief stop for you.
Poster as it crosses the beach at Surf, California in the afternoon light. This eastbound Guadalupe local from Santa Margarita and its interchange with the Santa Maria Valley Railroad is very overpowered.